Under a blazing red sun, the Zimitra desert unfolds, an endless expanse of desolation and forgotten dreams. Broken cities and skeletal remains claw at the sky, monuments to a lost civilization swallowed by the sands. The air shimmers with unbearable heat, blurring the line between reality and mirage. Silence reigns, broken only by the mournful whistle of the wind as it snakes through the ruins. Each gust carries whispers of forgotten battles and shattered hopes across the desolate landscape. In the lightless dungeon, Damnius hangs, chains biting into his flesh, a prisoner of darkness and despair. Blood stains the stone floor beneath him, a grim testament to his suffering and the brutality he has endured. Bruises and cuts mar his body, each a mark of his torment, yet his eyes burn with defiant rage. Though his mission failed, the memory fuels his spirit, a burning ember of vengeance in the abyss. Alone in the dark, Damnius embodies resilience, his anger a beacon against the encroaching shadows. In Port Rocky's bustling tavern, Damnius sits alone, a shadow amidst revelry, nursing his drink with a haunted look. A mysterious stranger approaches, his eyes glinting with veiled intentions, an offer hanging heavy in the smoky air. Gold changes hands, a silent pact sealed in the dim light. Damnius agrees to assassinate Hamuuti. The stranger's words linger, promising power and wealth, masking a deadly snare beneath the surface. Damnius accepts, unaware of the dark fate awaiting him, drawn into a web of deceit and doom. The deal is struck too easily, setting in motion a tragic sequence of events, a fatal mistake in the making. Inside the Hetra Temple, Damnius moves like a shadow, infiltrating the sacred space with deadly intent. With practiced speed, he draws his bow, the arrow aimed unerringly at Hamuuti. Before Damnius can unleash his shot, guards emerge from the temple's depths, their ambush swift and brutal. A black stone club hurtles towards Damnius, aimed with lethal precision. The club crashes against Damnius's temple, a sickening thud echoing in the temple. Darkness descends as Damnius collapses, his mission thwarted by the temple's silent guardians. The dungeon door creaks open, a sliver of amber light piercing the oppressive darkness. Orion, ancient and draped in black, shuffles into the cell, a flickering candle in hand. The candle flame dances wildly, casting grotesque shadows that writhe across the damp stone walls. A palpable tension fills the lightless dungeon, growing thick with anticipation. The air hangs heavy, charged with unspoken secrets and impending dread. In the lightless dungeon, Orion extends a hand, offering Damnius ale, bread, and meat. Damnius eyes the offered food warily, suspicion clouding his gaze as he looks at Orion. Cautiously, Damnius accepts the sustenance, his movements measured, betraying his distrust. He consumes the food slowly, deliberately, his eyes never leaving Orion's face. Damnius attempts to decipher Orion's motives behind the unexpected gesture of kindness. In the lightless dungeon, Orion steps forward, his presence cutting through the oppressive darkness. His voice echoes, revealing him as one of the last of the true, his words resonating with ancient power. "I propose a deal." Orion's voice booms, a stark offer in the suffocating gloom. "Freedom for Damnius," he continues, the weight of his proposition hanging heavy in the air. "In exchange for delivering Porverto alive," Orion concludes, the terms of the bargain laid bare. The dungeon holds its breath, awaiting the response to Orion's daring proposal. Flickering torches cast dancing shadows across the damp stone walls of a lightless dungeon. Orion, hardened by battle, his voice echoing in the confined space, speaks with urgency. "Porverto knew of a weakness," Orion says, his gaze intense in the dim light. "A secret tied to the waking thing behind the midnight granite wall. and the coming death fog. In the lightless dungeon, Orion presses a cold metal tool into Damnius's mouth. Damnius's eyes widen in fear as the metal scrapes against his teeth. Orion's face is grim, illuminated by a single flickering light. You have 3 sons to meet in the city of Emerance with Porvito alive, Orion threatens, his voice a low growl. The threat hangs heavy in the air, promising brutal consequences. In the lightless dungeon, Damnius strains against his chains, his ragged breaths echoing in the oppressive silence. Hours blur as Damnius scrapes the filing tool, each rasp a defiance against despair. The harsh sound of metal on metal is the only companion in his desperate struggle for freedom. His resolve hardens with each agonizing scrape, a silent promise of escape etched in the darkness. Chains snap in the lightless dungeon, and Damnius falls, a broken man liberated into cold despair. Trembling, he rises, each movement a painful defiance against his captors. He tests the cell door, a flicker of hope igniting in his eyes. His fingers trace the cold steel, searching for weakness, seeking freedom. With grim determination, Damnius crafts crude lockpicks from broken tools. His hands move with practiced skill, each motion a step closer to liberty. Damnius moves silently through the tunnels, his bare skin slick with sweat in the oppressive darkness. Hooks jut from the walls, each bearing grotesque burdens. Bodies and people, turned, meet a horrifying gallery. The air hangs thick and heavy, saturated with the cloying, inescapable stench of death and decay. Each step Damnius takes echoes eerily in the narrow confines, a stark reminder of his vulnerability. His eyes dart around, reflecting the dim, flickering light, searching for any sign of escape or salvation. In the corridor of barred cells, desperate hands reach out, pleading for freedom in the dim, flickering light. Cold iron bars confine the prisoners as shadows dance, deepening the atmosphere of despair. Damnius stealthily slides lockpicks across the cold stone floor, a silent promise in the darkness. The lockpicks find their way to a woman's outstretched hand, hope flickering in her eyes. Damnius whispers, "Meet me in the sewers at nightfall," his voice a lifeline in the oppressive silence. Under the cloak of night, the exit cave stands silent, guarded by unsuspecting sentries. Damnius moves with lethal grace, a shadow among shadows, his intentions masked by the darkness. 2 sentries fall without a sound, their vigilance betrayed by the night's deceptive calm. He strips the fallen of their garments, a grim necessity in the silent theater of war. Damnius picks up a mallet, its weight a promise of further dark deeds under the moonlit sky. Dressed in stolen clothes, he blends into the night, a wolf in sheep's clothing, ready to deceive. Damnius, in a rough uniform, blends into Hetra's crowded streets, a ghost among the living, his eyes scanning for opportunity. With nimble fingers, he swipes a sack, his movements fluid and silent amidst the clamor of the market. Quickly, he smears filth on his skin, erasing Damnius and becoming one with the city's underbelly. The mallet, his hidden hope, lies concealed beneath a tarp, awaiting the moment to reshape destiny. Damnius enters a plaza, an ominous pyramid of skulls looming in the daylight. Hamuyuti, grotesque and flayed skin, oversees a horrific sacrifice. The air vibrates with dark energy as the ritual unfolds before the pyramid. Damnius, jaw clenched in disgust and fear, attempts to slip away unnoticed. Shadows lengthen across the plaza, concealing Damnius's escape from the macabre scene. On a grain storage roof, Damnius stands silhouetted against the night, a lone figure overlooking the sprawling city below. The city glitters, its lights like fallen stars scattered across a dark canvas. Below, horns begin to scream, their piercing cries cutting through the quiet of the night. The sounds signal a hunt, a desperate chase unfolding in the labyrinthine streets below. Damnius watches, his expression unreadable, as the chaos spreads like a wildfire through the city. The hunt serves as a distraction, its purpose veiled in the shadows of the night. Under the cloak of night, Damnius moves with silent precision, a shadow among shadows in the stables. He stealthily steals a bow, arrows, and a dagger from the oblivious sentry, his movements fluid and practiced. Leading a camel from the stables, Damnius ensures his steps are unheard, his focus absolute. He ties the camel near the western fields, the animal a dark silhouette against the stark, moonlit horizon. The camel waits patiently, an accomplice in Damnius's silent, desperate flight into the unknown. Damnius, muscles screaming, claws his way up the temple walls, driven by a desperate urgency. He breaches Hamu'uti's chamber, a sanctuary, now defiled by an unspeakable scene of horror. The chamber is lit by eerie candlelight, casting long shadows that dance like specters. Hamu'uti stands in the center, a priest bathed in sinister light, surrounded by lifeless children. Their small bodies are arranged in a grotesque circle, a macabre offering to an ancient evil. In the priest chamber, Damnius confronts Hamu'uti, his eyes gleaming with cold, ruthless intent. The silence is shattered by the times-thwang times of Damnius's bow as an arrow streaks towards its target. Hamu'uti crumples, his lifeblood staining the stone floor. Damnius advances, his movements brutal as he ends the priest's life. He seizes a vibrant red cape, a trophy claimed amidst the carnage. Finally, with cold calculation, he scoops up scattered coins, spoils of his grim victory. Under the vast, star-strewn sky, Damnius rides fiercely through the darkened fields, the stolen camel beneath him. The cold wind whips at his back, pushing him onward into the night's embrace. High above, grim omens circle vultures, shadowing his desperate escape. Each beat of the camel's hooves echoes his defiance against the silent, watchful night. On the sun-baked road, Damnius spots a lone merchant wagon, dust swirling around its wheels, and a scheme sparks in his eyes. Dressed in battered leather, he strides forward, his mind weaving a web of lies to deceive the unsuspecting merchant. He approaches the wagon, a picture of desperate weariness painted across his face, ready to enact his charade. "Greetings, merchant. I am a guard. I times was times a guard." Damnius starts, his voice laced with fabricated urgency. His eyes dart around, adding a touch of paranoia to his tale. "We were ambushed. I barely made it out alive." Damnius awaits the merchant's reaction, his fate hanging on the believability of his crafted story. Buna walks the dusty road to Shota, brow furrowed, eyes blazing with anger. He speaks of his family, their laughter echoing in his memory, the warmth of their presence now just a ghost in the harsh sunlight. The name Hetra escapes his lips, venom coating each syllable. His voice cracks with hate, a raw sound against the stillness of the road. They reach a crossroads, the path ahead splitting in two, a decision looming. At the crossroads, Buna's eyes burn with purpose, his gaze fixed on Port Rocky. Dust devils dance around Buna's worn boots, each swirl a memory of family and vengeance. Across the divide, Damnius pauses, a storm of indecision in his eyes. Damnius turns towards Shota, shadows playing across his face, desire and determination. Orion's shadowy offer fuels Damnius's resolve. The enigma of Porverto beckons Damnius, a promise of power driving him forward. Damnius approaches the cliff's edge, the distant city of Shota, a hazy sprawl beneath him. He prepares himself, a storm of anticipation brewing within him for the confrontation with Orion and Porverto. Beyond the midnight wall, a thick fog advances, an ominous shroud creeping towards Shota. The fog rolls in, a silent harbinger of the dangers that await. Subscribe Enigma Epic Center for more dark mysteries and untold stories.